Ultimate Toy Collector here. Today we're going to take a look at the new Marvel Legends Nick Fury from the Marvel Legends Captain America series. Now this is the Build-A-Figure series that you will be able to complete Giant Man from Captain America Civil War. Once you have all the pieces from all 6 figures, you will be able to complete the deluxe size Giant Man. I kind of did it backwards and completed Giant Man. Now I picked up all the figures, but this was one figure. Actually, for me, it turns out to be several figures that I couldn't wait to get my hands on. Now, the old Toy Biz Nick Fury, there was nothing wrong with him, but they updated him and they gave us a new Nick Fury. Plus, we have I think it's Dirk Anger. We gave an ultimate head there, alternate head, and then we have a Shield Soldier alternate head here. So essentially, you can army build these bad boys. And if you're like me, you probably want to have maybe about 15 or 20 of them, possibly, to complete your armies. Because we've gotten a lot of recent Shield agents, and you know, you have a few Shield agents, you need an army to come in and swoop in on all your bad guys. Now, when Hasbro put out a few years back the AIM and Hydra figures, I know I picked up at least about 20 of those. So I need about 20 of these. So if you're like me, you're definitely going to want to pick these up. All right. It's a new Shield body. They did a good job on it. Comes with alternate heads. He's got a whole bunch of holsters here. He comes with a gun, and he comes with an arm to Giant Man. Now, if you're looking to pick this up, you can click on the link in the description of this video and head on over to Big Bad Toy Store, where you could order these guys without having to search through the stores and worry about, you know, finding only Iron Man and Captain America hanging on the pegs. So let's take a look at the package. Package here is the Marvel Legends window style packaging that we've seen for the last couple years. You see everything that you're getting in the box here. On the side, we have Nick Fury illustration there. Nick Fury here. And let's take a look at the back of the box. So the back of the box is the figure posed up. They did a good job with the photography on that. Got a little smoky background, and it has a little description here. And then you see down here, these are the other figures that you need to pick up in order to complete your Giant Man figure. Now, the 2 hardest figures that I've seen so far to find are Black Panther and Nick Fury. They were going for crazy aftermarket prices. It seems like now Hasbro has not flooded the market, but has released extras, or not extras, but you know, they beefed up the marketing on that. So now the price point has dropped down. You should be able to find these guys without a problem, and especially if you're ordering them online. Like I said, click the link in the description, Big Bad Toy Store, order yours, save on the gas. That's what I usually do. Save some time to, you know, coming home empty-handed when you decide to go out hunting. So let's open these bad boys up and take a look at them. All right, so here's our Nick Fury figures out of the package. All right, here's the Build-A-Figure piece that he comes with. Now I have 2 of the same arms here. We'll throw that to the side. Let's take a look at the heads up close. Now first, let's take a look at Nick Fury's head. So here's Nick Fury's head. While the sculpt is clean, and for the most part the paint apps are pretty clean, right here along the jawline maybe needs to be touched up a little bit. But overall, they did a good job on that. Now, the only issue I have is that Nick looks a little too young in the face. Now, even though they did give him some gray hair on the sides, overall, I think he looks a little bit too young. The Nick Fury that we know from the comics is older, weathered, you know, pre Samuel Jackson, pre when he shot the Watcher, you know, not Samuel L. Jackson, but Nick Fury is a little more weathered looking. This is a little too clean and young for me. All right, let's take a look at the next head sculpt. Here is the Shield agent with the mask. You could build a bunch of these, and you know, it's got a little metallic look up in here, and the gas mask type of look. So you know, it doesn't have to be really clean, so it's really not. But the sculpting on it is pretty good, and you know, if you're a customizer, you could kind of paint that up a little bit. Now, my favorite head would be Dirk Anger. Now, I'm not 100% sure of his involvement and the storyline behind him. I think he is more or less like a bad Shield agent. I'm not sure. But the head sculpt is pretty clean. In the hair up here, a little bit of the paint is missing, but it's not really too noticeable. You could touch that up a little bit. So this would be one of my favorite head sculpts. All right, so here's our Shield agent, and let's take a look at Nick Fury. So this is the same body, so I'm not gonna bother taking a look at this figure back here. He's just kind of hanging out here just so you guys can see him. All right, now besides that, here's the only removable accessory, which is his gun. I know Hasbro said they were, with some of the gun violence, I think they were trying to stray away from removable weapons that were of realistic color, but at the same time still give us a bunch of weapons. So I guess this is their non-realistic removable weapon. Not bad. All right, so now one thing that I heard, and I was hoping that this wouldn't be true, the plastic that Hasbro used on these figures is very flimsy and soft, and I'm actually really disappointed. I was looking forward to getting these figures. Like I said, I want to army build them. I want to have a nice collection of them, but feeling it in hand is just very loose and flimsy. And one thing you can actually see, if I shake him, you can see his head is very loose on the ball joint. All right, articulation is awesome. You can turn him all the way around, but as far as that, straight out of the package, very, very loose. Now, it's not hard to pop his head off to change to the other heads on this figure, but when you put Nick's head back on, it's a little loose. Let's take a look at Dirk's. All right, so Dirk's is a little tighter, not by much, but a little bit, and even the Shield Agent helmet was a little tighter on there also. It does fit on the body good, so you don't really have much of a gap on there. So that's a plus. We'll leave this head on there. Now, underneath here, the body is pretty plain and basic. He's got his holsters on there. I guess, you know, for you customizers, you could actually pop those off fairly easy. I don't see anywhere where you can remove the holsters without actually cutting them. So that being said, they are on there. But if you guys want to remove them, I'm sure you could. All right. Now, like I said, articulation in the head on the ball joint. Very good articulation, just very loose. Even now, it's just kind of bobbing up and down. All right. Arms, you get full rotation on the arms, on the body. And bicep cut in here. double elbow, and you can rotate the wrist right here. And even, let's see. All right. Be careful with the paint. You don't want the wrist to snap, but you can also flex the wrist a little bit on here too. So good articulation. Same in the other arm. Now he has a upper ab crunch in here. Good articulation there. And he has a waist swivel or cut in here for full articulation. I did hear that some figures, the plastic was stuck, so it was slightly hard for them to notice that he had that full articulation. Mine is very loose, so it's not an issue. If your figure is stuck, what I would do, apply a little heat with the blow dryer, soften it up, and then you can pop it right out. If it's giving you any type of feedback as you're trying to turn it, like if it's really tight, I wouldn't press the issue, because due to this plastic and the fact that it's so flimsy, if this waist is really tight and you try to go like that, you might just snap your figure in half. Rotation on the legs. He could do a full split there. Again, you can see the knees bending. The plastic is horrible on this figure. You have a upper thigh cut here. Spin around. He has double knees. He has a calf cut and full ankle rockers. And that's on both legs. So articulation on the figure is very good. The only issue that I have would be that the necks are very loose. All right, the ball joint is very, very loose. Nick Fury is a little young for me. And on top of that, the plastic on this figure, they should have, I don't know if they changed factories or what the deal was, but the plastic on this figure is just absolutely horrible. And like I said, I wanted to get a bunch of these, army build them. Honestly, I'm not sure now, just because of that and the fact, you know, like I said, it's a very flimsy figure. The mold is good, but the figure itself is just horrible with that plastic. So overall, I do like the figure. Wish they used a different mold or a different plastic. But who knows? Maybe I will pick up a few extras of these. Maybe Hasbro will correct the problem down the line. That's one thing I would definitely like to see, is them reissue this figure. Maybe even reissue this figure as a 3-pack. Maybe reissue it using some other heads that we haven't seen. And just fix the plastic issue. Keep the body, keep everything. Just maybe give us some different heads, a couple extra weapons, and fix the plastic. That's it. So thank you guys for checking me out. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, The Ultimate Toy Collector. Like the video, share it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about these figures. If you've been able to find them, you can pre-order them, Big Bad Toy Store. And also, let me know what you think about the plastic on these figures if you're having an issue with it, just like I am. And until next time, guys, happy hunting.
Be sure to check out www.bigbadtoystore.com.